Have you ever seen those special TV shows or movies? You know the ones that are so wonderfully, unintentionally bad, but they bring you so much joy and captivate you, but for all the wrong reasons.
Well, we here at B-Watch Rewatch absolutely live for these underdog gems.
So buckle up, Busters, and please allow us,
Kolin
and Kaydence, a sibling duo who share a passion for such cinematic excellence, to take you on a wild ride through all the TV shows and movie plots you never knew you needed to hear.
Hello, it's Kolin.
Oh, hi, it's Kaydence.
We are loving life right now. I don't know what that means, but...
I feel like you were ready to announce that you had a new lifestyle brand.
I don't know why I said that. I guess just because
you're like, look out, Gwyneth Paltrow coming onto you and Goop.
It's going to be Goop. I don't know why I said that. I guess we've been talking and we just were chatting and life
felt
was
like
good.
It felt like you were continuing our private conversation, but the mic was on. I get it.
Our conversations are so good. I fly on cloud nine. Just keeps me high for days.
You hang up. You're like, I am feeling great about life.
I want to start working out 3 times a day. This is really good. I want to make a candle that smells like... I want to make a candle that smells like my vagina. Get it, Goop? Gwyneth Paltrow.
Because of Gwyneth. No, I get it.
How are you? How is everything?
Every time you ask that question, you sound irritated from...
Because I just heard it. Because we talked for 2 hours before we do this, and so I'm just wrapping up. Let's go.
Okay, whatever.
Enough of that chit-chat. This week, we decided that we're going to switch it up the game a little bit. And now I have watched a movie. Again, I watched this maybe a year ago with one of my very close friends. He showed it to me. Roman, if you're listening, thank you for that. Fell in love with it. It's so good, and I can't wait to tell Kaydence about it. So without further ado, let's raise the glass to this week's movie. I don't know. You're drunk? Okay.
They didn't hear that part, so they only heard you slurring just now.
I just told Kaydence, I was like, I'm not telling you anything about this movie. You're going into it completely blind. And she's like, I know. I'm saying it. Okay. It's 8 a.m. where you are, so...
Me and Brenda have been hitting the whiskey.
The moonshine.
Searching for gators.
That Nolan's moonshine. I'm really excited to do this movie because Kaydence hates horror movies and I love them. And so this week's movie is very scary. She's going to be very scared listening to it. So what is one thing that I love more than anything? It takes up half my personality.
Like kitties.
Kitties and cats. That's exactly right. Okay, so this movie was made in the 80s. It's called The Uninvited, but they ended up just calling it Uninvited. And it is a horror movie. The director was kind of doing what Troll 2 did, where he was trying to make an animal rights message while incorporating absolute horror. And he succeeded in all of that. This movie's got it all. It's got espionage. It's got criminals. It's got murder. It's got cats. It's got boats. It's got psychological breakdowns. It's got sex. It's got everything
animal
you
rights.
can want in a movie.
It's got animal rights, apparently.
Everything. I read that somewhere on Reddit. So the movie is called, again, Uninvited. It was made in 1986. I believe it was released in 1988. And guess who the fuck is in it? You're going to die.
You got to give me a hint.
He was in Bolero, and he was the chauffeur.
Oh, I don't know his name, but I pictured him perfectly.
You know who he is. Okay, so he's in this. Anyway, without giving too much away, it's a real simple plot. When I give the plot summary, it's very, very simple. But because the director was ahead of his time and a visionary and believed that he was doing something amazing, lots of other kind of elements of love, sex, death, existential crisis, murder, all of it comes into play.
So it's sort of like making a basic recipe. It's really easy to put those 4 ingredients together. He's like, oh, I'm adding the spice of life. Open up that spice cabinet. It's about to get tasty.
Every spice from every part of the world. And if that spice doesn't make sense to how you taste, add it. Doesn't matter. Keeps you guessing. A basic summary of this movie. A cat who is not a cat a cat within a cat. Okay, let's start over.
I'm already confused.
Let's start over. When a cat says meow, it's not a cat. When a cat barks, it's a dog. That's Brenda, everybody. Okay, let's start over. A cat who has a demon cat living inside of its cat body
Okay.
gets released into the wild, aka Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yes. Guys, wild girl.
And finds its way onto a gangster's yacht who doesn't hire but picks up a group of young college students to be the boat's staff on a journey to the Cayman Islands because he is fleeing the government.
Okay. Okay.
Catch that?
I'm really trying to understand the demon cat within the cat situation.
Remember earlier how we
the
talked
rest
about...
of it I kind of get.
Remember how earlier we talked about a basic movie? He could have made a really good movie just based off of I'm fleeing from the government because I'm a criminal and I'm inviting these spring breakers from Fort Lauderdale to be on my boat as my staff. We'll get into it. But that could have been a whole storyline within its own. No, we incorporate the cat into it.
Because like that storyline I totally get. I'm with you. I can get behind some co-eds on a yacht going to the Cayman Islands trying to escape.
No, they're not trying to escape. They meet
the government.
You know what?
The government. You just said they're trying to escape the government.
You know what? Let's just get started. Everybody, let's get started.
But you said they're trying to escape the government.
Fort Lauderdale is spring break. No place like it in the world, agree? No contest.
Okay, so like I said, it starts in Fort Lauderdale, the place for spring break, ultimate place for spring break. Everyone knows that, duh. And I'm just going to tell you the story as it's presented, and you can ask any questions you want, okay?
Okay.
You have a couple doctors, maybe vets. Doesn't really explain. They're looking at a human skeleton x-ray of a backbone. And the guy's like, what is this? What do we do? Is this some kind of cancerous something? You're like, oh, someone's got cancer. This is awful. Next thing in, one of the vet techs and or nurses and or doctors brings in a cat. Beautiful kitty. So gorgeous. I love
Don't
it.
get distracted.
Okay, yeah, I won't get distracted. So they have him on the table and they're like, it doesn't matter. Let's get this out of this thing. And immediately the cat escapes. Just jumps right off the table.
So 4 medical professionals have no control over one kitty.
Yeah, you have one job.
Why are they looking at a human spine?
You know what? Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions.
Told me you just told me feel free to ask any questions.
In this case, don't. Because I was rewinded it 10 times. No idea why they're looking at a human spine x-ray. Don't get it. Cat. That's why I was like, oh, it's a hospital. Then I was like, oh, it's a vet because he's bringing in a cat. But then the cat escapes and he's like, nuclear code red. The doctor/vet pulls aside the whole building. And I'm like, this is a really intense vet. So basically this cat has got out and you're like, okay, something is in this cat.
Code red. ST-618 has escaped. Use extreme caution. Radiation security.
They're like, lock down the whole building, close the garage, everything. They're like, code red, everyone get on it. Cat's running away. The police force comes, obviously. This is a code red.
Obviously.
Obviously, it's a code red from the Mads. Oh, this is a B-movie trope. This is a science lab somewhere. Because they don't say hospital.
Right.
They don't say vet.
You're absolutely right.
So they corner the cat and they're like, you get down, cat. They're all pointing their guns at it.
They're yelling at it in English.
Yep. You get down, cat.
In English? The cat's like, oh, well, now that you're talking to me in English, I guess I will.
Yeah, and as the audience member, you're like, as me, I'm like, what is going on? What's going on with this cat? So they're like, why are you pointing guns at this tiny, innocent little cat? Oh, nope. The cat opens its mouth, and a little tiny angry cat comes out, and it kills every cop. Every cop.
How? Does it have lasers?
It claws them with its baby.
So it just takes turns. They all just wait in line. I get it.
Yes, but it's fast because it's a tiny cat inside of a regular cat's body.
Okay,
but it's a mutant cat.
It's got less size going for it.
Yes.
But what it lacks in size, it makes up for in speed.
Yes, but it can't quite leave the cat's body fully at this point. So it's kind of
no way. So it's kind of hanging out of its mouth. Its front legs are just scratching, but its back legs are still in there.
You know
Who
what?
did the next one?
I don't know. It's a mutant. Anyway, those cops die, okay? The two doctors are like, shit, all these cops have died. We've really got to put a lockdown now. So they put another code, locked the full building. Concrete things come from the garage, the whole
I
thing.
thought that's what it was the first time around. Did not know they had like lockdown, and they had like, no, seriously, this is lockdown.
No, seriously, a smaller cat just came out of a bigger cat lockdown. No, it's the full, because they realize that shit's getting serious. Because at first they're like, oh, maybe the cat's not going to do anything. Like, and again, there's no explanation to what it is. They're not saying like we did research on this, or it's a mutant, or we put anything in it. There's no backstory. It happens just like that. The doctors are like, get that cat. It runs away, and it's just like meow, and then it turns into a mutant, kills cops. They
So
go to
who
after it.
are they yelling at to get the cat if everyone's dead?
This is a type 2 lockdown. Everyone in the building now is after this cat.
So the police were just the first wave of security. It was like, okay, if you can help us, that's great. If you can't, we got a second wave. Don't stress.
Yeah, and guess what the second wave is?
The other
The vet.
doctors.
The vet and the doctor. Because he literally grabs a gun from the cop and he's like, give me this. Tries to shoot the cat. Nope. That little baby cat from inside that cat's mouth comes out, kills everybody.
Do you honestly think that bullets will kill the little baby cat if it's already massacred a bunch of police officers? Clearly.
Well, they don't know. It's the beginning of the movie. So we're all on our toes. Like, what is this cat capable of? What is this little baby bat cat? Because it looks like a little bat with a shag carpet kind of tied to its face. And it comes out of the cat body. And I think the cat body is just a skin suit for this nuclear alien cat.
Why not stay firmly planted inside the cat? Because it's bigger. So you're like, I got the size of this cat, and then I'm in control of it. So then I can just adapt its body to do whatever I need it to do.
That's a good question, because it does do that, but also chooses when to attack.
Okay, bad cat. So when they put security, so if they don't know what the cat's capable of and they release the first wave of security, why are they doing that? Like, they know something's happening with the cat, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't call security. They'd just be like, get a cart.
They said something is in here. What is it? He said, I don't know. Get the damn thing. We'll take it out. Then the cat comes in. I'm just as lost as you are. There's no explanation. So do you feel comfortable with the first part of the movie? No questions? I know you had a lot. So do I.
I'm so at home with this plot. Listen, I'm so at home in this plot. I'm like the demon kitty inside the bigger kitty. That's how comfortable I am. That's how at home I feel in whatever is happening here.
And just to give a visual, it's not necessarily another demon cat inside of a cat. It's some kind of weird bat-like shrieking demon creature inside of a cat's skin. And again, I don't know if it's the cat itself turning into a demon or if it's a demon living in a cat suit.
Okay. So
don't want to think too much about it.
For the shortcut, since we're going to have to be referring to it, can we just call it the cat and a cat? Because I don't think we're going to have time to say the little demon that looks kind of like a bat wrapped in carpet every time. What should we call it?
Well, there's times it's the cat, and there's times it's the little demon with bat wrapped in carpet that comes out of the cat.
Okay, so can we do demon cat and cat?
Yeah,
to delineate, or is that too confusing?
DC and C. Let's just do DC and C, okay? So after that terrifying opening, Suzanne and Bobby are two sassy, fiery 80s teen females. And they are in Fort Lauderdale because it's spring break, baby, Fort Lauderdale. But they cannot get a hotel anywhere. So, of course, they go to the nicest...
They did not make reservations.
This is the 80s,
Guys, everybody knows Fort Lauderdale is going to be busy. It's spring break.
They didn't have hotels.com. You show up at a hotel, you demand a room. That's how the 80s worked. You don't make reservations. It's ridiculous. So Suzanne and Bobby, the two fiery female leads of this movie, they walk into, of course, the fanciest hotel in Fort Lauderdale, and they demand...
With their cut-off tanks.
With their cut-off tanks. And the funny thing is that they're arguing out front about being able to afford it. And I'm like, what? There's plenty of other hotels than a 5-star Fort Lauderdale hotel that you could try to crash. Anyway, they go in and they're like, we need a room. And the guy's like, you can't even be here, bitches, if you don't have a room and a reservation. And they're like, not even in the lobby? He's like, no, this is Fort Lauderdale. Get out of the fucking lobby. Right when that happens, we meet another main character. His name is Walter Graham, as they call him.
Are you talking about Wall Street, Walter?
Oh, okay. So his nickname isn't any shorter or more convenient to say?
Wall Street's a lot cooler than Walter Graham.
I was hoping...
What are you thinking, Walter Graham Cracker? Suzanne and Bobby, they meet
Wall
Walter
Street.
Graham, who's Wall Street. And you just get the vibe that he is ultra rich. And he's like, immediately, hey,
It's okay, they're with me.
they're with me. Let them stay. Walks down, has a really casual interaction where he's like,
You girls don't have a room, do you?
Yes. Yes.
It's okay, I understand. I've been there. I might be able to help you with a place to stay. I was just about to go in and have some dinner. Why don't you join me and we can talk about it?
I don't think that
Well,
would
it's
really...
just something to eat, Suzanne.
Yeah, it's a good restaurant. Just something to eat, Suzanne. No strings attached.
I just don't think we're dressed for dinner.
It'll be all right, trust me.
Man, I'm
You
starving.
can leave your bags here.
you need a place to stay? I'm rich. Stay here. And they're like, okay. That's it. 80s, different time. Suzanne, Bobby. I've been around the block a couple times. That's not an offer you take up. Because he's significantly older than them. He's 60, they're 20. You get it. Later that night, they're having dinner, you know. Walter Graham's like,
And you are coming to the party, right? Starts about midnight on my yacht. I'll send a limo back here to get you. Should be fun. Lots of interesting people. Bob, see that the ladies get what they want. See you in a little while.
Bye, Mr. Graham.
Oh, please call me Walter.
Good night, Walter.
Susie and Bobby, you guys are so great. You should come to this amazing party on my yacht. So instantly we're like, Walter is rich. We'll call him Walt. Wall Street.
His name's Wall Street.
That's his nickname. We're like, okay, he's rich. He has a yacht party. These girls are being wined and dined. Of course, let's go. But immediately in the middle of that, two people walk in. The chauffeur from Bolero
Okay.
and this guy named Albert. And Albert's real weird. And they're like, Walter, dude, we got to go right now. Get up.
We've got to go now. We've got a meeting, remember?
These broads got to go home. And he's like, sorry, ladies, got to go. Come to my party tomorrow. And I'm thinking to myself, again, Susie, Bobby, all of this.
None of this is raising
None of
any
this.
red flags.
You walk into a hotel room, a random guy is like, stay with me, brings you to dinner, then leaves in the middle of dinner because two mysterious men come and tell him he has to go. And he's like, come to my party. I'd be like,
And they're like, absolutely, yes, we will be there.
you know what? Fort Lauderdale, crazy place. Hey.
Never know.
Meanwhile, guess who's outside the hotel? Hotel.
Please let it be the cat.
It's the cat.
Yes.
So the cat's like got an eye on everything. He's like, okay, I get
I'm
this.
just monitoring this situation.
So we're assuming Bobby and Susanna are getting on that boat. There's no way. They're getting to that party. Cut to the next day. There is and I think this is only important to bring up because it's showing that the mutant alien cat inside of the cat body has a little bit of a soul and a soft side because there is a mechanic
Oh, this
that...
is a turn.
Yeah. It's wild. Next day, we see a mechanic giving this mutant cat, we'll call him just the regular cat, milk. And he's like, hey, kitty, kitty, kitty. It's the worst voiceovers ever.
Come here, kitty. That's a girl. Drink some milk. That's a good kid.
He's giving him milk and petting the cat, and you just think, oh, this is a bond. And it is, because a guy comes up, and he's like,
Yeah, you got some change for cigarette machine?
and the mechanic's like, yeah, I'll get you that. What do you think happens?
Well, I'm hoping he doesn't turn on the mechanic and just become a killing monster.
No, the guy that asked for change for cigarettes, he does that.
Oh.
Starts beating the mechanic out in broad daylight in front of everybody in Fort Lauderdale.
I thought the cat was going to be like, no, yeah, I'm totally soft and pettable. Totally, you're safe. And then he was going to steal a car from the mechanic or something.
See,
like
that
there
would
had
make
to be...
sense. That would make sense. Nope. The mechanic gets brutally beaten and killed by this random guy who asked for cigarette change in the middle of the day in the middle of Fort Lauderdale. The demon cat does nothing. So the guy that brutally beats, robs, and takes this guy's mechanic's truck in the middle of the day, he's driving away. He thinks he gets off scot-free. Guess who's in the back of the truck? Demon cat. And guess what Demon cat does? Breaks through the window, kills him, runs him off the road. Dead. So the only reason I'm bringing this up again is because the demon cat didn't kill the mechanic because the mechanic gave him milk. It was a bond.
I see.
Okay? And then he witnessed the murder of that mechanic in broad daylight. In Fort
Didn't
Lauderdale.
defend that mechanic at all.
Didn't try
Had
to save
the
them.
power to stop that crime,
Kaydence.
but waited.
Shh. Anyway, a bond was formed. All right, so we've met these two gentlemen, Lance and Corey. And again, they're just pirates on the marina, just waiting to, I don't know, something to happen. And we see, again, Bobby and Suzanne. They walk up, no eye contact, nothing, sit down, invite him to go to a party. And I didn't realize this until I was doing this episode, because I did not make this connection. But the party that Walter invited them to, Wall Street, on his yacht, turns out it's a trip to the Caribbean. They're going on a cruise.
That's how I throw a party, and that's the
So,
only kind of party I
This is
attend.
a 5-day to 7-day party on a yacht
Okay, cool.
with a man you
cool.
just met. And again, Suzanne, Bobby, I respect that crazy lifestyle, girls, but again, a couple red flags, man. That's when someone says it's a party and they're like, my party. Of course, a party means 5 days to the Caribbean on my yacht. I'd be like, okay, cool. Could have mentioned that. But what's even more
With
disturbing
a random
that-
old guy.
with a random old dude and his 2 henchmen that told him to leave. But what's even more disturbing than that is that they immediately, without even asking where these boys are from, they're not like, Corey, Lance, where are you guys from? It's like, do you want to come with us at this party?
Last night we met this guy, Walter Graham.
You should see this boat.
Well, anyways, we're supposed to set sail this morning on a cruise for the Caribbean. Be gone a couple days, maybe more. Why don't you guys come with us?
We're going to party on a boat.
Did they even ask their names? Were they like, hey, how
No.
are you? What's your
No,
name?
I had to look up the fucking names of this
Okay.
cast for so long because no one says what their names are. But
Okay.
what you do learn is that Corey, one of the 2 boys that Bobby and Suzanne meet at the pier, just casually waiting for an invite to a Caribbean cruise party, he's obsessed with Walter Graham. He's like,
Yeah. Wait, are you talking about Wall Street, Walter? I mean, this guy is the best arbitrageur in the world. I mean, he's made more millions on Wall Street than anybody.
Walter Graham?
Oh,
He's
so
a
one of these guys
billionaire.
knows Wall Street.
Oh,
I see.
He does. He
So
doesn't
he's like a
know Wall
Donald
Street.
Trump
He knows of Wall. Exactly. He knows of Wall Street.
Okay.
He's
That's
like,
what I
that
meant.
guy
That's
is
what I
a
meant.
multi-$1,000-dollar-aire. How did you score on this yacht? They're like, don't worry about it. Just come. And they're like, okay, no questions asked. The 4 of them are about to go off. You're like, okay, 2 beautiful women, 2 beautiful men going off. Nope. They get cock-blocked by their friend Martin. And I say friend loosely because everyone hates Martin.
Is Martin the demon cat, and now his power is to cockblock?
Oh, they treat Martin like the demon cat. He walks up and he's like,
Hey, you guys! Oh, no. Hello, ladies.
hey guys, and they're like, Martin, son of a bitch. And he's like, oh, and he's supposed to be this nerdy guy who's, when I say nerdy in the 80s, he's literally just, I don't know, smart. He literally just kind of thinks and says intelligent things. But the funny thing is no one wants Martin around. I'm like, how did Lance
So how did he get on
and
this
Corey?
boat?
Okay, that's what I'm wondering. Lance and Corey obviously hate him, but he's somehow associated with them in some kind of friendship capacity. But they're like, Martin, you dumb bitch. They've got 2 girls with them that just invited them on a Caribbean cruise.
And Martin means that now the boys are outnumbering the girls, so it's not even numbers, and so it throws the whole thing into
the whole
disarray.
social construct is completely fucked up.
We're never gonna find a place to stay. This whole town's booked solid. Not now, Hedgeworth. We're busy.
But of course, Martin doesn't pick that up because he's a nerd, and he's like, "Sure, I'm going to go to
Right.
the Caribbean too. I don't have none of them have bags packed, nothing. They're like, sure, we're all going to get on this multi-million. Let's do it. All right, so now we've got our ragtag team of 5. We've got Suzanne and Bobby,
Yeah.
these crazy Fort Lauderdale party girls. And then we've got Corey, Lance, and Martin. So they're all really marching towards the day party that's turning into a 5-day Caribbean yacht party. And as they're getting on the boat, there's a trash can that's
Okay,
wiggling around like crazy. And you hear, and I don't know what you would do if you saw a trash can wriggling around like that and meowing and shaking.
Oh, Lord, the poor thing.
No, I
Yes.
would definitely go straight for it and
Mhm.
without any protection or anything. Like no gloves, no
Mhm.
mask, nothing. Just
Mhm.
dig in. Dig in. My life motto, dig in.
I get it. Well, call Kaydence Suzanne because that's exactly what Suzanne does. She reaches into this
Please
garbage
do.
heap and she's like,
Oh, come here.
and she pulls out cat, not demon cat.
Okay, I was
cat
just
at
gonna
this point.
say.
Because it's just normal cat. And I will say that
Okay.
you cannot train cats like you train dogs. So this movie, the cat is clawing her and she's like, I love this cat. And it's just like, clawing her. But it's not because it's the movie. It's because you're trying to hold a cat. So
Because
anyway,
the cat's like, I don't want to have any part of this.
because Martin's a nerd, he's like,
Genetic laboratory. This must be a lab animal. Must have gotten away.
You mean they're gonna cut it up and experiment on it?
No, not necessarily. But sometimes it is vital to...
No way. Not with this cat. I'm taking my little baby with me.
well, while she's saying that, literally she's like, this sweet baby, no way. The cat actor is just clawing and scraping when to get away. Because if there's 2 things cats love, water and strangers, they love it.
Should we call cat actors?
Cactors. There's one thing cactors love. It's water and strangers holding them. They act really normal. So at this point, Suzanne has just like, she's taken over. She's like, invite these bros, invite a cat. I'm bringing whoever or whatever. But Walter didn't have this in mind.
I know. He's like, okay, now tell me one more time you brought 3 extra men and a stray cat you found in a trash can?
You read the plot's mind because that's exactly what happens. They all go on the boat. She's got her cat in her arms. It's clawing her. And he's like,
Well, thank you, but I'm sorry. You're going to have to leave anyway. And how appropriate. Here comes the shuttle right now.
you've picked up 3 random dudes and a freaking cat and you want to take it on my boat? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, I cannot have this. So he goes and he's like freaking out what to do because he wants all of them to leave. He's like, get off, get the cat off.
Yeah, just
I hate
be like,
everything.
bye. This is my boat.
Yeah, that's a smart thing to do because, I don't know, the CES is coming after you and you need to escape. So he goes in and this is where we meet our last and final character for the rest of the movie. Her name is Rachel. And she's the captain of the boat, you guys. Rachel.
Ooh, progressive for the 80s.
I know. And she's a beautiful blonde bombshell. And she delivers her lines like this.
So, how is my captain this morning?
It'd be a lot better if we hadn't lost an entire crew.
You mean you still haven't replaced them?
Walter, do you know what time it is? Besides, if you didn't treat them like slaves, we wouldn't have to replace them.
Okay, so I got a little drunk and mouthed off to the crew. I apologize, but it is my boat.
So it is.
And if you don't like that, honey, you're free to leave anytime.
And let you ruin her before I have a chance to get her back?
Your old man couldn't make a go of this boat. What makes you think you can?
Leave my father out of this.
Rachel, if you really want the damn boat back, all you have to do is ask. I can be a very generous man with people who just treat me right.
Walter, you pay me to run this boat, nothing else.
So as you can see, Rachel's only the captain of this boat because Walter stole it from her dad and she's trying to buy it back. She's got a solid heart. But as you could also hear from that clip, Walter's a creep and all he wants from Rachel is her bod.
Okay, we're not surprised by that though, right? Because
we're not at all surprised by this because Walter invited 2 strange females that he met in a
Exactly.
lobby of a hotel after 2 minutes of dinner on a Caribbean cruise that he's fleeing from the CES. That's why this movie is so good. Do you see how it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper?
Yes. Well, because at this point you have an undercover boat pilot and you have an undercover
Who's
cat
the undercover
demon.
boat pilot?
The girl, because she's the pilot or the captain of the boat, but
It's
she's
captain,
also there.
not pilot. This is not a plane. This is a boat. Kaydence.
That's why
This
I
is
called
a
her
maritime
boat
tale.
pilot.
This is not a airtail. Okay, get it right.
When it started coming out, I realized it wasn't right, which is why I said boat pilot because she's the pilot of the boat. So the captain is,
and it's a ship. Regardless,
is it but it's like a yacht,
actually,
right?
It's
not like
so it is kind of a boat.
Okay,
it's not a ship. A ship's
so
big. Okay, you got it.
She's only the captain to get it back for her dad, correct? So she's got an ulterior motive.
Yes, she's working for him to earn money to buy back the boat that he took from her dad because her dad's an alcoholic and a storm hit and ruined the boat and he couldn't repair it.
Can we just give up the stereotype of drunk sea captains, please?
No.
That's just...
No, because it makes an appearance 10 more times.
Okay.
We're getting too deep into Rachel's storyline. The point is Rachel has a great idea. She's like, why don't you hire these guys to be your boat crew? I cannot run this ship by myself. You have to have a crew. I will never make it to the Cayman Islands if you do not have a crew. And he's like, Rachel, you robotic bitch. You've got a point. He walks back out and he's like, hey.
Albert, take these 3 sailors and raise the anchor and then bring up the gangplank. Mike, start the engines. All right, everybody, come on, let's move it.
Y'all can be my crew. That's your payment for going on this.
So he freaks out and then he's like, actually, never mind. Forget that happened. I wasn't mad at all. I was not mad. What I was trying to ask you is when I was saying you can't come on this boat, I meant you can't come on this boat as civilians, only as the crew.
And again, you're absolutely right. Okay. And again, as Bobby and Suzanne, I'd be like, red flags left and right. I'd be like, something is not you don't go to the middle of the ocean with anybody, no matter how much they offer you in gold, in diamonds, in ghost charms. You don't go in the middle of the ocean with
I was
somebody
just going to
that
say
you
we
just
learned
met.
that lesson last week with Alone in the Dark because Lionel Hudgens goes on the boat to get the Abkhani treasure and everybody ends up dead.
So never a good idea. Regardless, the captain's like, yeah, you can all come. Walter, sorry. He's like, you all can come.
So is he getting free labor? Like, is he trafficking them for free labor on the boat, or is he...
Yes. Because
Is
Rachel,
this a paying gig?
Rachel can't run the boat unless there's a crew. How do you expect her to get to the Cayman Islands without a crew?
But he's rich. He can't pay them. I don't get it.
Kaydence, rich get rich by not paying people. That's exactly how you get
Oh, I
rich.
see. Yes. Got it.
Together. All right, so he's determined that they're all going to be crew. They're all set sail, right? They're ready. They're going into the Caribbean from Fort Lauderdale. They're having the time of their lives, okay? Now, this is where things get a little intense because these three boys that these two random girls have just met and brought on your yacht, they're not taking things seriously. No way. No way. They're like, oh, who's going to clean up this mess? Who's going to... And no, Mike Walter walks in, who is the chauffeur from Bolero. And he's like, I don't care what this captain says. You're going to work for me. And he assigns duties to everybody. And he's like,
I don't like you. I don't like punk kids that think the world owes them a living. What that means is that despite what duties that the captain has for you, I'm assigning some specific duties right now. You're the cook. You're the busboy and the dishwasher. You're the maid.
and I'm thinking to myself, you just assigned this random dude cook. Like, you have to eat his food. Like, think a little bit more into this, Mike.
I like
before
at
you get
least
crazy.
have them make you a snack and kind of judge each snack.
Like, be like, hey, everyone has to make me avocado toast. Whoever makes it the best becomes cook. No, that's not how Mike Walter works. He's like, you're this, you're this, you're this. So there's a sense of like, okay, shit's getting real. This isn't just party, random millionaires yacht club, okay, to the Caribbean. Now we have to be.
Don't you also feel like, as Sue's and Bob's, that at this moment you'd be like, you know what? This feels less like a party and more like a job or slave labor. Can we just hop off?
Where are you going to hop off in the middle of the ocean, Kaydence?
Oh, so they're already mid-ocean when he assigns them jobs.
Yeah, because they're mid-ocean, and that's when they're like, who's going to clean this all up? And that's when Mike Walter comes in, and he's like intense, and he's like, y'all are bitches, you're serving this boat. But Suzanne doesn't care. You know why Suzanne doesn't care? Because she's got this fucking cat all the time. And the whole time she's like, this kitty on the boat's not going to hurt us at all. Oh, foreshadowing.
Oh, please, Walter. I promise this darling little kitty won't be any trouble. Please. I'll take care of it. You won't be sorry. I promise.
Is she going to clean up that kitty's poo-poo since there's not a litter box?
Yeah, she's maid number 2.
Is that her job?
Mike Walter assigned it to her.
Oh, then it's done. Taken care of.
After all of this happens, we're met with Rachel back in the the cockpit.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Is that
we're met in the ship
or
the ship
boat? Because you just chewed me out.
Chewed you out.
Me out.
I hate the word chewed you out. We used to use it
Well,
all the
I
time.
was going to say something else, and then I was like, I don't want to say it, so then chewed me out was the second place finisher. But yeah, you just publicly degraded me for not knowing the difference, and then you just had the audacity to call the captain's
Rachel's
office.
gonna be so mad at me. The cockpit of the boat. The pilot's office, the cockpit of the boat. So she's like, oh my gosh, there's a storm. Of course there's a storm, because again, lots of different elements coming into this movie. We've got a mutant
You can't just have a demon
we've got slave labor, we've got lying, sex, the whole thing, money laundering, the whole thing. So as a captain of a boat, what you do when you hear there's a severe storm, what's the first thing you would do?
Well, I would actually find it like exactly where it's coming and go straight for it.
That's pretty much what she does, except she gets a middleman to do it for her. She's like, Albert, the henchman, can you come steer the boat? Albert is a stressed out ball of mess. And he's like, no, I can't. And she's like, you have to. And I'm like, okay, she's got a very clear reason why he's got to steer this boat when she's clearly reading that there's a storm. Well, cut to a party going on in the boat. And Rachel, the captain, is just playing backgammon. And everyone's dancing, having a good time.
Wait. They're playing backgammon at the party?
I appreciate that you did the backup, because Rachel, she's no nonsense and she's attracted to brains. So she's actually playing backgammon with Martin, the nerd.
I was going to say, if it's brains involved, it's going to be Martin. Okay,
Martin's there.
You're different than your two friends.
I guess I am. But they're okay. Corey's pre-law. Lance is a jock. He's got a free ride. Wrestling, he's pretty good.
What about yourself?
Me? I'm a biologist. I'm a year away from my doctorate.
Everyone else is partying, including Mike Walter, the henchman.
I see.
We've got Wall Street, we've got Bobby, we've got Suzanne, we've got Lance, and we've got Corey. They're all partying. Rachel and Martin, the smart ones, nope, playing backgammon, getting to know each other, okay? Meanwhile, Albert, one of the henchmen who we haven't talked a lot, he's just freaking out. So he decides to drink 7 bottles of whiskey, head straight for the storm. Rachel's like, what the fuck, Albert? Why are you heading straight for the storm? And I don't know about you, but when I have a couple drinks, I go full insane.
Eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He's traveling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. His lightning and
Albert!
Captain Albert, at your service, baby.
You are drunk.
You are right.
Oh, Jesus, you've taken us way off
Never
course.
fear, my dear Captain Albert will fix it.
Go sober up. Go on, get out of here. I'm going to have to figure out where the hell we are. Go on, get out of here.
Aye, baby.
Yeah, he was like, you literally told me to steer in this direction. That's why we're headed to the storm.
And she's like, I didn't. I told you to just steer while there's a storm going. There's a difference, Albert. So she's like, get out of this cockpit. And he's like, fine. And he's drunkenly stumbling out. Meanwhile, while the party's going on, while Rachel's re-getting the destination, she's resetting this cockpit. That little cat, we forgot about him. Where is he? He claws the engine because he knows what engines are and he wants to stop this boat.
Oh, yeah, clearly.
For whatever
Okay,
reason.
but you never have an indication of why the boat needs to stop, correct?
No.
Like the cat, so the cat on some level, the cat knows that Walter Wall Street Graham is fleeing the United States.
No.
Right?
No.
Okay, so if he doesn't know that Walter is fleeing the United States, then he's just a bitch who wants to crash land a whole boat of people by severing the engine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
Clear. Okay.
So
I thought maybe it was like a secret IRS cat and the lab was like an IRS lab where they were like training tons of house cats.
The IRS?
To turn in. Because it's
the IRS? You're talking the IRS.
Yes.
The Internal Revenue Service is training cats
Because this guy is
to go after criminals. The CIA is doing that, bitch.
No. I said IRS for a reason.
We're training our
Because
cats to
he's
know
fleeing.
data and charts, and when people aren't paying taxes.
That's the whole point. Number one, no one would suspect the IRS. Number two, if this guy's trying to get out of town because of tax evasion or whatever, then it is the IRS. And number three, what's less predictable than like you think your house cat is your friend, but really they're turning over your tax money's information to the government.
They're not. Though.
And
They're
they will
sinking
turn
your
you in.
ship in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
So this cat's just mean, and he's just like, for no reason. The cat can't swim. You yourself said nothing. Cats don't like water and strangers. So he wants to take a ship down that will leave him stranded in the middle of the ocean in a lot of water. A lot of water.
This cat has its motives, and I don't need to know them. And as a viewer, I don't want to know them. Okay? All I know is he has a vendetta against that fucking yacht, and he starts messing with those cables, okay? Not only does he do that, after he messes with the cable and Rachel's a sweaty mess trying to get back on course, he goes and kills Albert. And guess what he does?
You want some of this sweet little pussy?
He walks up and he goes, "Meow." And he slices him on the cheek. No, he dies. So Albert dies for 5 minutes, falls over the boat. And the whole time, nobody can hear it because they're partying downstairs. Everyone's partying. Rachel's stressed out trying to get the boat. A lot of things are culminating at this point. So you're feeling it as the viewer, like, shit, what? This is so stressful. All these things are going on. Right. So Albert's the first death. R.I.P. bud. So the next day, the boat has obviously just stopped working because the demon cat has ruined it.
Right.
And this is what
let me ask you this question too. When the cat is messing with the engine, is it the normal looking cat or is it demon cat? Like, does he come out of the cat in order to mess with the boat?
That is a good question. All we see is little baby claws clawing the engine. So again, and Kaydence, you're still asking me if the demon has a mind of its own or if the cat transforms
You're
into
right.
a demon. I still don't
right.
know. There's been
You're
no
right.
explanation. To this point, it's just little baby claws clawing.
Okay, I keep
But I will
re-asking
say
that question in different forms, but you're right.
That
I don't
Albert
know.
dies for 17 full minutes. His blood.
I mean, if you're bleeding out from a cat scratch,
Well, that leads you to believe,
would
like,
take a while.
this demon cat something. It's the baby's little scratch. He's just like, bleeds out, dies. Well, the next day after the party stops and everything, Rachel's like, I can't get the boat to work. And Wall Street's like, bitch, you got to get this boat to work. And she's like, I can't find Albert. Have you seen him? And I'm like, bitch, it's a boat.
How many places could Albert be?
Yeah, she's like, I just can't find him anywhere. And I'm like, yeah, it's a boat. You're the captain of a boat. Well, this is where shit starts to get real. Okay.
Okay. Oh, just now? Just now? Okay.
So Wall Street and Mike Walter, his henchman, the one that's alive, that played the chauffeur from Bolero, they're just like, they find the blood. They're like, let's not tell Rachel. That bitch will ruin everything. She'll go to the cops. Sure enough, Rachel does find the blood, and she's like, oh no, he must have fallen over. Everyone just agrees that Albert fell over. But no one wants to go back and get him. There's blood all over the side of the boat. And everyone's just like, yeah, he must have just fallen over. He was drunk. And she's like, okay.
There's blood splattered everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Just looks like he went overboard. Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
That makes sense.
But guess who does it? Guess there's a little sneaking suspicion in somebody, and it's Martin. And so Martin's like, hey, Rach, you're the captain of this boat, right? Do you have a sextant? And she's like, a sextant is used to read the stars. And he's like, I'm going to use it for something else because I'm a biologist. And we learned that Martin is a biologist. Not yet. He's going to school for biology. So he uses his sextant to test the blood of Albert. And he's like,
Martin, what am I looking at?
Blood cells. This is 100, maybe even 1,000 times normal, even for fresh blood.
And you think this is Albert's blood?
Don't you?
What? Yeah.
Wait, so is Albert now also, he doesn't become like a zombie, right?
We don't know. He might be an ocean zombie at this point because he fell overboard. But at this point, we're a little nervous.
Like, if his blood's transforming, then what's the point of, what's his blood transforming into?
That's a good question that may not be answered in this next coming scene. Okay. So now we've got Suzanne, who's still looking for that damn cat, and her friend Bobby, the two girls that started this whole thing. And Bobby's inside working out, and Walter comes up to her, and he's like, I can't keep my eyes off you, babe. You keep toying around with me. I'm going to get you. It gets real sexual. And we're talking, if you guys are uncomfortable with this, it's time to fast forward. But there's a little bit of, it isn't full rape, but it's about to get there.
Okay.
But Lance comes in, and he's like...
This is where that cat would come in real handy.
Kaydence, shut your dumb wet mouth. I'm getting there. So Lance comes in, and he's like, hey, Walter, what are you doing? Get off of her. And he's like, get out of here, kid. He goes to get Walter. Then Mike comes in. The henchman shoots Lance in the shoulder. Lance falls. My. But guess what happens after that?
The cat
comes in, and he's like, yeah, I saw that rape. And he bites the henchman's Achilles tendon, and he's down for the count. And he's screaming, and he's on the couch, and he's starting to bubble and boil, but nothing's really happening to him. But he's starting to bubble and boil. Mm-hmm. Well, no one knows what the fuck is going on until Martin runs in.
There's a human being bubbling and boiling on the couch. I wouldn't either.
Well, then Martin and Rachel run in, and they're like, what happened? And they're like, he tried to shoot me, he tried to rape me, the whole thing. I saw a cat, but his Achilles. Then Martin's like, you know what? The reaction he's having doesn't look like a cat did it. Looks like something more is happening.
Well, good thing Martin is going to school for biology, because I don't think anybody else would have caught that.
He comes pure doctor that knows everything. Meanwhile, they just blow over the whole Walter trying to rape Bobby, the whole thing.
Right. That's the least of their problems.
That's the reason they're worried. It's because this guy, Mike, is on the ground, just on the couch, just writhing away. And so he's like, you know what? That collar from that lab must mean that they were doing tests on this. It must have a venom. So he deduces the cat has venom that is biting people. And you're just going to have to listen to this little speech he gives.
Okay.
As near as I can tell, the cat that bit Mr. Harvey is highly poisonous.
A poisonous cat. Now, how's that possible?
I found a piece of blood-stained shirt this morning. Rachel and I took a pretty good look at the blood. And it was mutating like nothing I've ever seen or heard about.
Maybe the cat's got rabies.
Oh, God.
I've seen rabies. I know what it does to the blood. This was a mutation. It's definitely not real.
Look, Bobby says she saw the cat while it was running from me. Tell Martin what you told me.
Well, it all happened really fast. I don't know, it didn't look like the cat, but it had to be.
Martin immediately knows in his sophomore year of college everything about biology and testing on animals. And this is where it becomes, like I said in the beginning, it becomes a real, like, don't test animals. Because she's like, you mean poor animals are tested to this and now we're all going to be infected?
I was honestly trying to figure out when that came into the whole plot because you had mentioned it.
Suzanne is just, she's pure still on the cat side. Everyone's still confused. Again, the rape gets completely looked over. But they do determine that Walter's bad. Wall Street. They're going to lock him up. So now I mean,
it wasn't that they had already been kidnapped and forced to work on his boat that nailed that down. It was this. Okay, okay.
So now we've got Suzanne, we've got Bobby, we've got Lance, we've got Martin, and we've got Corey. Those are the 5 that are left. And they decide to lock Walter up because Mike, the henchman, he's dead. He boiled on the couch, alive. Martin was like,
okay, so he finished boiling. Okay, so now the cat not only is just super violent, it also has venom.
Yes, and it also protects people it chooses to protect.
Its own moral code.
Its own moral code that we can't ask questions about.
Okay, right.
So they all go through this thing about like biology and testing. And so they're like, what do we do? And they decide to do the obvious thing and throw Mike, the henchman's body to sea.
Oh, that's definitely the obvious thing.
They're like, this could kill so many people. We've got to study this. Nope. Throw his body over.
Throw it into the ocean where it could kill all sea life.
Makes a lot of sense. Don't
you
ask
would think
questions.
Martin would know better than that. He is a biologist.
Martin, you'd think he'd be stopping it. No. So now they lock up Wall Street because they're like, you're a monster. They lock him up. Okay? Now things are getting
So who's
tense.
driving the boat? Is Rachel still driving the boat?
No, Kaydence. If you don't remember, the boat is broken. The demon cat ruined the engine.
Oh, that's right.
So
that's
they're
right.
just
That's right.
floating around, and Rachel is stressed out of her mind. She's like, how do I get this boat working?
That's what she gets for playing backgammon when she should have been trying to get out of a storm.
Kaydence, she didn't want to be a loser and wanted to join the party, okay? Jesus, okay? She's got to work off this boat for her dad, but not all the time.
Not all the time. She's got other interests.
So basically, Rachel and Martin are combining forces because Rachel's got this moral compass, so does Martin. He's smart, you know. Meanwhile, Corey, man on a boat, he's like becoming sides with Wall Street. And Wall Street's like, if you let me go, I'll give you all the money. And he's like, okay. This is where things get real psychological.
Okay.
This isn't making any sense at all. Are you following this at all? It's so ridiculous.
Yes, I am. So the boat is broken down in the ocean. Rachel's stressing out. That one dude's been thrown overboard, Mike, because he was bubbling and boiling on the couch.
Albert's
Walter's
dead.
been put
So Albert and Mike are dead. The 2 henchmen are dead.
And then Walter's been put in boat jail by the other people. And now he's using his psychological rich guy mind powers to meld Corey.
Exactly, because as you don't remember, Corey was at the beginning like, I'm in love with this guy. Like, he knows everything about business.
Oh, that's right. I did
forget
that little tidbit that he very much admired him. Okay.
So now we're met with Bobby and Lance. And again, Lance has been shot in the arm because he was trying to protect Bobby from being raped by Walter before the demon cat killed Mike, who came in to shoot Lance because he was trying to get Walter off of Bobby. Duh, right?
Duh.
Easy.
Duh.
So he's like, Bobby, I can't feel my arm because I got shot. That's the funny thing about getting shot. You just don't feel pain anymore. And she's like, well, let me heal it. She goes to kiss him. She's making out with him.
No.
Guess what happens next?
Please tell me the cat.
The cat is eating Lance's arm because he can't feel it anymore. And Bobby's like, what's that noise? And he's like, I don't know. Meanwhile, they lift up the sheet.
They're making out?
Oh, they're getting ready to make love. They're getting ready to complete each other's bodies. Yes, and he's like, what's that noise? She lifts up the sheet off her naked body. The cat is eating his arm.
You guys keep going. No, just finish what you're doing.
What do you think Lance does? He's like, I'm dying, it's poison. That's what Martin said. He saw it in his sextant. So he immediately runs and he's like, Titanic moment. I'm going to jump. I'm already a zombie. Maybe we all saw
I hope someone just hacks it off. Someone grab the axe, just cut it off. Let's see what happens.
Martin saw it in the sextant. The blood was multiplying maybe 1,000 times faster than fresh blood.
Right.
So he's like, I know my fate. I have to jump. And Bobby's like Lance, don't do this. We just met 2 days ago. I convinced you to come on a gangster's trip, and he's kidnapped you and forced you to do labor on his yacht in return for this trip that you're getting nothing out of. And he's like, my fate is sealed, Bobby. Get off me. Slaps her. But guess what? He doesn't slap her. His little mutant arm that's been chewed by the cat gets her tank top. He pulls her over. They both go in the ocean.
What?
Yeah.
His mutant arm is that strong?
No, he doesn't mean to, Kaydence. He's trying to kill himself to save himself.
Even worse.
I know. Pulls that poor little baby Bobby right off the boat, and both of them, they die. Dead.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I bet you didn't see that coming. So now we've got Suzanne, we've got Corey, and we've got Walter and Rachel and Martin. There's only 5 people left, okay? Martin and Rachel have created this little nerd bond, okay?
Right.
We've got Corey, who's been psychologically manipulated by Walter.
Right.
Okay, so he
But
goes
nobody else
in-
knows that yet, right?
No,
Okay.
not even Suzanne. And Suzanne's just getting ready for bed. She's like, oh, I'm going to take off all my clothes because that's how I get ready for bed when a mutant cat's attacking everyone and all my friends have died.
Just
and
real cash.
she hears this thing at the door. Meow.
A thing?
Well, a noise.
I wonder what that
sorry.
could be.
She hears a noise at the door. Meow. And she's like, oh my gosh, get away. And defends herself by putting a tiny little silk pillowcase over her tits. And she's like, I'm going to come to the door and get you, mutant cat. It turns out that Corey is making that noise. And he's
Corey, you bitch.
He's like, babe, I'm going to protect you. Stick with me. Keep in mind, he's been infused with the lies of Walter.
Right. He's definitely got
He's
that
changed his
ick
entire,
factor.
yeah. So they have sex. And
Wait.
the next day.
They have sex. Wait,
Yes.
they have sex. They just met. She invited him on the boat. They did not know each other before that. There has been graphic deaths, blood, and violence.
Yes, she
And an arm
witnessed a
eaten.
mutant cat kill 2 people. Her best friend almost got raped, fell overboard with the boy that she just met. They drowned. She's in bed, ready to have sex. Yes.
And now
that's-
she's like, I am in the mood. Bring
Yeah.
it on.
You don't get in the mood when
Bring
your best
it
friend and
on.
his your best
Go
friend and
overboard?
their random friend that they just met drowned by a mutant cat.
I
that
have
just
a very specific kink, and it's watching people go overboard after being bit by a mutant cat. It's real specific, but it's hot, let me tell you.
Yeah, well, Suzanne, she's into it. So they
Add a
just,
silk pillowcase, and I am there.
she's ready. So he's like, stick with me, babe. Everything's going to be cool. Well, guess what? The next morning, he completely turns on her. And he's like, you're going to do all these things for me. I'm ordering you around. Me and Walter, we've created this bond. We're going to take over.
What's his weapon? Like, how does he have power over her?
What does every boat have? A flare. Duh. A flare gun.
Oh.
So
okay.
now it's become a Walter and Corey take over a Rachel, Martin, and Suzanne situation. And there's still the mutant cat running around. There's a lot of elements.
But how does Walter have any power from the prison boat or the boat prison?
Are you fucking dumb? Have you been listening? He uses his rich, wise power to take over Corey's mind.
I'm just saying, physically speaking,
doesn't
Walter's
need
in boat jail, so he doesn't
need any physicalness. He just takes over Corey's mind. He literally is like, Corey, you want that Rolex over there? I have 20 of them. Take it. And Corey's like, you are rich. And he's like, yeah, make your wildest dreams come true. So no one knows where the cat is. No one knows where this cat is, okay? So Corey and Walter are creating this whole thing. Eventually, Corey lets Walter go. He's walking around the boat. Meanwhile, Suzanne, the one who brought the mutant cat on the boat, she's losing her fucking mind. It's been almost 18 hours without food. And you're wondering, like, why no food? Because Martin determined that if a cat was near food, it's contaminated. So him and Rachel lock it all up. And Suzanne starts going full crazy. But my favorite part is she starts going Kristen Wiig crazy. Where she's like over animated and she acts just like Kristen Wiig in SNL, where she's like,
You're lying. You're both lying. We're never gonna get out of this alive. We're all gonna die. That thing's gonna bite us. And we're all gonna die a horrible death.
basically, Martin has determined that if the cat touches any of their food supply, it's contaminated. And if they eat any of the food,
It
they're going to
just
turn
ate
into
an
zombies.
arm. It just ate a human arm.
But it also really craves oats and fruit and vegetables. Kaydence, come on. And you know how Martin determines this, by the way, that you brought that up? He finds a couple little breadcrumbs on the ground. And he's like, hey, gave me that sextant. And she's like, here. And he's like, looks like that's contaminated bread. And I'm like, no, cat. Even if you're a demon cat, you're not going to go for bread.
And oats.
And oats.
I really just want some oatmeal right now. I just need some fiber.
Regardless.
Okay, cat, still on the loose. They're locking up the food.
Martin and Rachel are getting kind of the grasp of things. They lock up the food because they don't want to get contaminated. Suzanne, who brought the cat on the boat, she's going full crazy. Walter and Corey have this little bond. Okay, it all culminates.
And now Walter's out of boat jail.
He is.
Okay.
Okay. It all culminates to this final chapter.
Okay. I thought you were going to say scene, but you said chapter, which is concerning to me.
Okay, so this final chapter, we've made it past all that, which if you're still following the story, basically Martin and Rachel are the pros in this, okay?
Right.
Susan goes full crazy. Suzanne, she's just like nonstop nuts.
She can't eat. She's starving to death. She's losing her mind.
So Corey shoots or kills her.
Oh, okay. That's one way to deal with it. Yes, okay.
So now we got Walter and Corey against Martin and Rachel. Walter goes nuts. Walter and Corey decide that they're going to find the cat. They're going to get it. They're going to kill it. This whole thing's going to be over. So Corey's big plan is to put out little baby pieces of cat food and lure that cat. But he's already shot Suzanne, thrown her
I
overboard.
would leave Suzanne's body out. That's what I would do.
Again, Corey, guy who just bought a boat, not very smart. Leaving little cat things out. So him and Walter are down below decks where the engine's all messed up. And the cat scares him. And Corey, because he doesn't know how to use a gun, starts shooting everything. Of course he shoots a pipe that's going to cause the boat on fire.
They set a trap to catch a cat. And then they're startled when the cat shows up.
Yeah, it's not even the demon cat. The cat pops its little head out and goes, "Meow," and Corey starts shooting that gun like it is the wild, wild west. And of course, he shoots a pipe that starts a fire. Of course.
Corey, you set the trap. You were waiting for the cat.
If you're going to set a trap for a demon cat, you cannot get startled when a normal cat meows and shoot everything and start the boat on fire. So Walter's like, Corey, this was a bad idea. I failed at all this. I'm going to die a loser. And
I
Corey's
chose
like,
the wrong guy to manipulate from boat jail.
And he's like, sorry, I got freaked out by that cat's meow. So I'm really real in this. So the whole boat catches on fire. Rachel and Martin are like, shit, we're in the middle of the ocean. The boat's on fire. We got to take the lifeboat and get out.
It's just now occurring to everybody. We are stranded in the middle of the ocean. Okay, yeah.
So they get on the lifeboat. They're paddling out. Meanwhile, Martin, because he's smart, again, because he's going to school sophomore year, he's 19, he's going to be a biologist maybe, we don't know. He knows everything. So, of course, he's grabbing things from the boat to stay alive.
Whatever he would need.
Whatever he can grab. So he's grabbing all this stuff. The boat basically has an explosion. And it's him and Rachel on the lifeboat with all these stuff. And they're like,
so at this point, they're not concerned about having food on the lifeboat. And the cat possibly
that's what I just said.
coming
Martin
to the
grabbed
lifeboat.
everything. He just grabbed anything he could get, including 3 gold briefcases from Walter's bedroom, which is what you grab when you're
anything you would
stressed.
need. That is definitely
Obviously.
a need, not a want.
So you think the movie's over. You're like, this is great. Rachel, Martin, they got away. No siree. That cat demon, he pops up on the boat and he's hissing and yelling.
On the rescue boat, right?
On the rescue boat, yep. And you're like, they didn't make it. And Martin's like, yeah, we did. And he hits him with one of the gold cases.
Okay.
Falls in the water. And then the next scene is the demon cat floating on the case. Just being like, you got me. And Martin and Rachel make it to the Cayman Islands. But guess what happens when they land on the Cayman Islands? They open the cases.
I went up and was so important to this damn briefcase that he gave his life for it. There must be $1 million in there. Enough to buy a new boat. And to finance a study of called biology. Yeah.
And they live their life happy on the Cayman Islands. And the cat
Wait, what
floats
happened to
away.
Walter? I somehow missed something.
He
I
died.
thought
Corey shot the thing
on the
and
boat
the boat
explosion.
started. Yes, and that's why
okay,
Walter
I
was
see,
like, I
see.
chose the wrong guy to manipulate. You killed me.
I remember that, but for some reason I didn't catch that he actually died in that explosion. So this is a lesson that money does solve all problems because the gold knocked the cat into the water, took care, not a gun took care of it, nothing, but the gold did. And then there was money in their suitcase, and so it was like double whammy.
Yeah, but I hate to tell you.
Or is it implying that the cat
Well, I hate
survived and he will now be joining them on the island?
I hate to tell you this, But the movie doesn't end with Rachel and Martin living for money on the Cayman Islands. I mean, it does.
Really? I thought that
it
was
does.
Okay. You
But
did say chapter. In your defense, you did say chapter.
This is officially the last chapter. On a different island, on a different side of the continent, the cat survived on that gold thing, and a little boy picks it up. And he goes, look at this beautiful kitty. And then the movie ends.
Oh, so it wasn't a full chapter. It was more like an epilogue.
That fucking demon cat stayed alive. That's the basic point.
So if the cat was floating on a gold suitcase and didn't have access to food, which is what powered it, then how did it survive?
See, you're making your own assumptions. Nowhere did I say food powered this mutant cat. We don't know what powered it.
Well, Martin was like, we gotta hide all the food.
Because
from
the cat contaminated it. Because he
got
got a little bit peckish.
Contaminated.
He got a little bit peckish. And he wanted to have a little fruit.
Okay. I hear you.
This was worse than Alone in the Dark. We did this real bad. I'm the worst storyteller ever. It's just this movie's so good. There's so many moving parts. I don't know what to leave in and out.
Yeah, you gave me shit during Alone in the Dark, but now you see it's hard because it's, even though these are like little mindless details, they are a little bit relevant. And so it's like, what do I share? What do I not share? And then how do you make something that's completely incohesive and just absolute madness into a story that makes any kind of sense?
It's hard to do because even when you look up the ratings, it's like this story had so many plot holes. There was no cohesiveness. There was no, what is it called? Continuity. There were so many continuity errors. And I'm like, yeah, now that I'm repeating it, none of it makes any sense. Watching it, I'm like,
could you imagine reading this script?
Yeah, I'd be like, mutant cat. I feel like they should have just left the fucking mutant cat out of it. This would have been a whole psychological thriller on its own.
Yes. And I was also thinking, when you told me about Rachel, the boat captain, I was like, oh, that could be an interesting movie. Like, she's trying to get this boat back for her dad. Like, that could be interesting. Or this millionaire, that would be a horror story saying, come to a party. Just kidding. I'm actually taking you on a 7-day boat trip to the Cayman Islands, and now you have to be my staff and you don't have a choice. That would be like a psychological thriller. Add the cat into it, not just a cat, a demon cat with a cat inside a cat that eats people and food and fruit. And it just really throws a wrench into everything. It really does.
Then throw in psychological manipulation, Munchausen syndrome. Munchausen syndrome.
You mean Stockholm syndrome?
I was getting there.
It's okay.
Stockholm. Corey. That's what I meant. Munchausen is one. Okay, yeah. Throw in Stockholm syndrome. Throw in sex. Throw in all these different things.
Also,
free labor.
Would you ever in a million years, like when what's her name has sex with Corey, but first he fakes her out by meowing at the door. Like, why would you ever have sex with that dude? Number one, he's making light of a terrible tragedy.
Yeah, that's wild. I would never. Making cat noises, that's wild. It's stupid. I would never be turned on.
As soon as I started saying it, I was like, you know what? This might not be the right audience.
Making light of the worst situation, making cat noises as a joke. I'd be like, get in my bed. Get in here now.
Those are your only two requirements. Make light of a difficult situation. Meow your ass off.
My favorite thing that I really glazed over, though, is that Suzanne, the one who brought the freaking cat on the boat, she goes full psychological break, which again is another element to the story because it's like full, you're watching a human being just break down. And she's like, Martin, it's not my fault that I brought the cat on the boat. It's your fault. You said cats were good luck on boats. And he's like, I did, sweetheart. You need to lay down.
That would have been another interesting movie. You've got all these strangers now stranded on a boat with an engine that doesn't work that has to somehow survive. That could have been interesting too. But why add the cat?
My last comment, I agree with you, of course. My last comment is this cat doesn't have superhuman strength. Doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
Lock yourself in a room with food. Lock yourself in a room with one door and food. And if the cat tries to break through the door, kick it. Kick it and hope it doesn't bite.
That's what I'm saying is there has to be some element of superhuman strength because it scratched someone's face and they died. So there has to be, or maybe it was the zombie blood or the mutant blood or something, and it was the infection that killed him and not the scrape.
Maybe they should have just told us what the fucking cat was. That would have been a good start.
Maybe we could have circled back and found out the origin of the human spine in the beginning, and it would have just clarified everything after that. It would have made total sense.
I watch movies. I need to watch this for a fourth time and just figure out what that was about, because I really did. I was like, I'm trying to do a good job.
So
Take
it's
notes.
called The Uninvited.
The Uninvited, but it's actually just called The Uninvited now because they made The Uninvited in 2019 that got better ratings and reviews. So now they just call it Uninvited. What is one thing in this world that I love more than anything? Starts with a C. I have two of them.
Cats.
Yes. So this is a horror
I was
movie.
like, starts with a C.
I see them on Tuesday, and I've never seen one.
When you said two, that's when I knew it wasn't the first word that popped to my mind.
Why? Oh, yeah. This movie's called Cunt.
No, I was thinking cock.
I have two cocks.
No, that's what I said. When you said I have two, it's when I realized it wasn't what I was thinking.
You thought I was really going to say on air to everyone listening, what's my favorite thing? Dick and butthole. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Rachel, edit this out. Let's start that over.
I didn't think
I was thinking cunt. I was thinking like it starts with a
the
C.
fact that you went straight to cunt is more concerning.
I don't know why. I was not thinking cock. You know what? I'm not good at being...
gonna be a joke, and then you went. You took it from 0 to 100. Did you think I was gonna say cunt?
It's my favorite thing, and I have two of them, and I immediately go to thinking you said cunt. Oh, geez. Okay.
Okay. Okay.